be there, people with high positions, because it is the word rank. Then it can also mean bureaucracy, okay, bureaucrats, or it can mean politicians. Now see, if you can see here, now 4 options are given to you, and you have to mark the answer. Something like this can be cited, that they give you an idiom and they are asking us to provide the meaning of that idiom. So the first medium that we cover was rank and file. And I gave you certain option choices with it. And now we are covering the meaning of it. So there can be one pattern with an idiom given, options given, and one has to give the meaning. Another thing can be, the meaning can be given at the top. I can give the meaning and say which of them, and I can write 4 idioms at the bottom in the option choices and say which idiom has the meaning stated above. So I can do the other way around. Instead of idiom at the top and meanings in the option choices, it can be meanings in the top and idioms in the option choices. This can be another pattern. That means I can have idioms in the option choices. So then out of the 4 idioms, which has the meaning which is stated at the top, that can be there. Or the third pattern can be, the idiom can be used in one line. So it gives us a bit of contextual understanding of the meaning, even if we are not very sure of the meaning. And then we have to provide with the meaning. We can understand the meaning by reading the sentence also. So these would be our 3 ways in which questions of the idioms can be asked. Or another way that can happen can be that I can easily even do one more thing, that I can use an idiom in a reading comprehension section and ask you what does the idiom mean in the comprehension section. So chances might be less, but that doesn't mean they can't come. So let's cover. Now here we can easily do the idioms which are frequently, you can see, will be present in our, they're also present in our day-to-day newspaper reading. So we can collect idioms from our newspaper reading. Rather than running after difficult idioms, we can run after the ones that are frequently used in writing. Okay, so rank and file are ordinary people. So here, he has a lot of support from the rank and file in the, these are people working as workers in offices. They can be workers in an organization. These are common people. So he has a support of rank and file, means that he has a support of workers. These are people who might be workers. That means they are supporting a leader. So common people, ordinary people, these are rank and file. The rank and file appreciated the officers move. That means the workers, the common people, people working below the leaders are rank and file. Now the second one. The second one is really very, and I picked this up from almost an article which came with maybe 2 to 3 days back, an elephant in the room. The article said that there is an elephant in the room. So can you see the elephant in the room article? How was it used? Now let's look at that. How was this used? An elephant in the room would mean a very big problem to tackle. A big problem to tackle would mean an elephant in the room. Now look at the size of the elephant becomes a clue. Now, how was it stated in the article? The Punjab Chief Minister it was an article on the drugs and the prevalence of drugs in Punjab. And he said he has to tackle with the drug trafficking. That's a big elephant in his room, an elephant in the room, which is a big problem to deal with, a big problem, a problem that is very large. Okay, a major problem, elephant in the room, major problem. So initially I'll teach you about 10, 12 of them. And then we'll do a recollection so that we can do a quick, recap also. So the third one now. So the third one says, up in arms. up in arms, which is practically saying somebody who's very angry is it up in arms, that is angry. So somebody who's very angry is up in the arms. Another easy, and usually this is very often seen, going under the knife. Then I'll try relating going under the knife. My aunt is going under the knife would mean what? That, going under the knife would not mean that she's cutting vegetables or whatever. She's undergoing a surgery. She is planning to undergo a surgery. My aunt is going under the knife means that the surgeon's knife is being referred to here. Undergo a surgery. So now first question, fifth one. We can do 5 and then we do a quick revision. Okay, going under the knife. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Very common. Again, this is again from the newspaper, Times of India. It pours. Now, what would this mean? So your problems tend to come in when it rains, it pours also. So clearly saying there is one problem and there is another problem. Problems tend to come in groups. That means problems tend to come in groups. I'll give you now. Which is clearly saying problems tend to come in groups. Now, can we do all the 5 now? There were these floods in Punjab. Can we relate to that situation? So now these floods were one major elephant to tackle for the chief minister. But there is also when it rains, it pours. Now, apart from those problems, he's also tackling with other issues of civil disobedience, or maybe also tackling drugs or illegal trafficking, unemployment for the youth. This is what, and the youth are up in arms. The youth are up in arms. The chief minister of Punjab has a big elephant in his room, has an elephant in his room, and when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. The rank and file of Punjab had good spirits for the chief minister of Punjab, but now the tables have been turned. Can you see all 5 done? Ranks and files, up in arms, going under the knife. When it rains, it pours. Okay, next one. Next one is again, I like to take it from common newspapers, pull strings. For work to be done in our country, we really need to pull strings. He wanted to get admission in the top MBA schools. For that, he had to pull some strings. So that means use influence. Use influence. So can you see here? When we want things to be done, sometimes we have to pull strings. To get a job in the corporate, he had to pull strings. That means use the influence of somebody. That is where we are using the pull the strings. Okay. So then the 7th one. See, we're doing about a 40-50 of them. So probably you can look at the usages, focus more on the usage, so that when you're reading the newspaper, you're reading editorial, sometimes writers have this tendency, or people who are writing the editorial section have this tendency very often to use common day-to-day idioms. And they might also use this in their speaking process also. So from now onwards, draw your attention when you're reading some articles. This was from today's newspaper only, pipe dreams. Pipe dream. Pipe dream is like, they said that Pakistan's pipe dream to have to sort out the border issue. The or to a pipe dream is something which is very unrealistic. Unrealistic hope, unrealistic. That's a pipe dream. Unrealistic. which is a pipe dream. An unrealistic hope, Pakistan's pipe dream to be a part of the G20 is yet to see the light of the day, is yet to see the light of the day. The pipe dream of Punjab Chief Minister would be to get a free Punjab of drugs. To free Punjab of drugs. That is it. Okay. Then global warming, tip of the iceberg. Global warming has led to ocean temperatures rising. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a very small, tip of the iceberg. Can you see iceberg is very big and the tip is very small. Now, a small visible, the problem is huge, but only the tip of the iceberg. The problem is the iceberg, but only the tip is visible to us. We are not realizing the potential dangers or a small visible part of, we're just seeing the problem from as very small, a small visible part of the problem. Okay, that is the tip of the iceberg. So pipe dream, unrealistic hopes. I am only taking today those that are very often used in writing or they are seen frequently in speaking. Whenever you see experts giving their opinion on debates and on channels, you'll find very many of them frequently use some idioms. Okay, I'm covering the next few. Then all of you, please sit tight. Now, 10th one. After 10th, I'll change the number to 1 again. Sit tight and listen to me properly. That means wait and don't go anywhere. Wait, listen properly. Wait and do not leave this. Do not go anywhere. So all of us need to sit tight and listen to the idioms that are being taught here. Okay, I am going to spin. I am going to spin a yarn. Spin a yarn. I'm so sorry, just 1 minute. I just wanted to spin a yarn, which is I'm going to tell you a story right away. Okay, so let's have the story then. Tell a story. I'm going to spin a yarn. Tell a story. He was always in the habit of spinning a yarn. Okay, but all of us need to sit tight and listen to what he has to say to us. Okay, then let's go here. And in the story, he will spill some beans. Spill the beans. In the story, he will spill the beans. Spill the beans would mean what? Reveal a secret. When he will reveal a secret through a story, reveal a secret. 15 ke baad, chalo, we'll change the number. So here, the story writer will always spin a yarn. The story writer had this tendency to spill the beans in a story only. Spin a yarn means we are going to have, and we are going to start with a story. Okay. He spinned a yarn in the story. He spilled the beans, but the audience was so mesmerized. They were sitting tight. They were sitting tight to listen attentively to what he had to say. Clear? Now, it's a pipe dream of many of the storytellers to have books published and to win the Booker's Prize. It's a pipe dream for many of them. Clear? But the problem in global warming is becoming an elephant in the room. And we are just able at the present moment to see the tip of the iceberg. Okay, next one is also with the story part only, and the story has legs. Now look at this, is very nice. The story has legs. Now, what does this mean? That means, is the story able to talk or walk? Okay. Story has legs means, that means it's able to grab the attention of, it is gripping. It is able to grab the attention of the listeners. That means the people are gripped by the story, or they're continuing to pay attention to this. People are continuing to pay attention to the story. So they are continuing to pay attention to the story. So when a story is gripping, people will sit tight, because towards the end, the storyteller will spill the bean. The mystery story had legs. This had legs. The narrator spilled the beans in the last scene. People were sitting tight. And obviously, which proved that story had legs. Clear? So I put them all under one umbrella of one sentence. Okay. So now, next one, you must have seen in the newspapers, this is very often used, which is saying, quote, unquote. Quote, unquote. So what does this mean, quote, unquote? The authors will say, or even when in the the channels would usually quote somebody. This is saying, quote unquote, is basically saying ironically speaking. This is ironically stating somebody, ironically speaking, quote unquote. This is ironically speaking, becomes quote unquote. Okay. And then let's go further. The 15th one, quote unquote. That's why I said the first 15 I'm going to take from the newspaper, then some 15 I'll take, next 15 I love to take it from which usually are often seen in the writings pattern. From newspapers, I'm covering the common day-to-day usage. The gain ground, another one, gain ground, commonly used. Prime Minister Modi has been able to gain grounds in the leaders of the G20. Gain ground is to become popular. He's becoming very popular, to become popular. Okay. So become a popular thing is to gain grounds. Then next one we can take is a bolt from the blue. A bolt. So, okay, 15 done here. We'll take next 15. We'll take the next 15, which are again from the writing, or which I think all of us really need to know. So here, first of all, I'm taking a bolt from the blue. A bolt from the blue. So a bolt from the blue would mean unexpected thing, something unexpected. This came as a bolt from the blue. That means something very unexpected. Like COVID was a bolt from the blue, something people had not even thought of a pandemic. Something unexpected. Or you gain something, then also it's a bolt from the blue. The questions in the paper were absolutely a bolt from the blue. Very unexpected. Okay, then next one. So to bring to light, disclose something. Environmentalists are trying to bring to light the imminent dangers of global warming. To bring to light would mean disclose, to present, to showcase, disclose. So that's bring to light. So we'll do 3 more, then we do a 1 minute reviser, we continue. Okay. So a bolt from the blue to bring to light. This could be where they're showcasing something, they're disclosing, they are bringing to light. That means they are telling people that this could be the problems that can come. Okay. Then next one. Okay, I am giving you the next one. To move heaven and earth. To move heaven and earth. So what would this mean? To make us, when you're making an extreme effort, a supreme effort to clear the exam, he had to move heaven and earth. To get a rank in the topic, to get a rank in a competitive exam, one would have to move heaven and earth, to make an extreme effort, to make a supreme effort. Okay, so that is to move heaven and earth. Then the fourth one, cry for the moon. Cry for the moon. Look at the clue in the word cry and the moon. Cry for moon. So are you not crying for something when you want the moon for yourself? Then you're crying that you did not get it. You're crying for something that's impossible. You're crying for something, ask for the impossible. So when you're asking for something that's impossible, then Pakistan is crying for the moon to get a position in G20. Okay, because it's been declared as a terrorist state. Then also, there's a big elephant in their room. Clear? Next one, it's a pipe dream for them to have a seat at UNSC. Okay, it's a pipe dream, imaginary thing. Even if they move heaven and earth, probably things will not go as per what they think. So crying for the moon is to ask for something impossible. Okay, then next one, between the devil and the deep sea. This is again very commonly used. Between the devil and the deep sea. So what does this mean here? It clearly means you are between the devil and the deep sea. These are two dangers and you are between them. So here, between two dangers. That's between the devil and the deep sea. Okay, so let's go further. See, we've already covered 20 and we're going to cover 10 more here. Then it'll be the number 6, almost like 30. And we gradually in the classes also will cover some more. At the end, our objective is first of all to know the common one. Obviously, that's for sure. You would have to take the effort to learn them. It will be better if we learn them through sentences, like I am speaking sentences and we weave a story around, we try putting them in one sentence, in a story format, that will be better. Okay, next one. Next one is saying, a man of straw. He's a man of straw. I'll not like, we can just, it's not a positive, a straw is basically, if you look at hay, it's emptiness. It's absolutely having no value. A man of no substance. A man of no substance. That means he has no substance. He's really a hollow thing. Hollow. Not in shape, but in content. He's a man of straw. That means he has no substance. He keeps dwindling between situations. He keeps dwindling. Okay. So He's a man of straw. That means a man of no, he doesn't have his own viewpoint. He's just a man with no substance. So then here, okay. Next one we are taking is this one, like a cat on hot bricks. So what would this mean? To give you a break of 1 minute, after this, I'm going to narrate a story and then. So, cat on hot bricks is somebody who's, if a cat is sitting on hot bricks, obviously you're very, very nervous. So, before the exam, he was like a cat on hot bricks and he had moved heaven and earth. That means to prepare for the exam. Okay, but the exam had given him certain surprises. So there were a lot of questions in the exam that were not that were a bolt from the blue, a bolt from the blue. Okay. Then next one. 8th one. Snake oil. Now, what would this mean? Is it snake oil? I'm so sorry, I'm writing it here now. So what's a snake oil? Snake oil would be something where it is absolutely, there is nothing as snake oil. Snake oil is like a quack remedy. If you've seen, whenever there is this, any kind of disease, a lot of people will come up with snake oil methods to cure the disease. Why don't you drink this? If your throat is bad, they'll say, "Aap ye neem kha lo." These are not tested and tried methods, but they will say it's a quack method. Aap ye kar lo. They will start giving you quacks remedies. That's a snake oil. कि आप ये पत्ते खा लो, this, they'll start, these are not tried and proven, but these are like a quacks remedies. So that's there. Okay, now next one. He has a lot of fake remedies are quack remedies. Okay, but at sea now. He's at sea. That is very confused. Now let's for the revision sake, we put some lines so that we can put here. The paper. The students had moved heaven and earth for the preparation, but the paper had some questions which were bold from the blue. Before the examination, they were cat on hot bricks, but looking at the paper, they were at sea. Some of them were very irritated or even angry, up in arms, because they were not informed that questions will come from that topic. Okay. At sea means you're confused and lost. Okay. Then they're piped. So now, then it was what? So here they had, they had burned the midnight oil. I'm taking a very easy one, burning the midnight oil. That means work very hard, burn the midnight oil. So they had spent hours and months in preparation, that is study very hard, study hard, work hard. Study meaning work hard. For a student, it might be study. For others, it is to burn the midnight oil, is to do effort. They had moved heaven and earth. They had burned the midnight oil, but some questions came as a bolt from the blue. They were at sea. They were at sea. Very confused. Some of them got up in the arms, angry. That's why it was not informed. So they wanted to bring to the light to their teachers that these were some questions out of the syllabus. Okay. Now, next few. The 10th one also I'm writing it. Then 5 we'll do from the new page. Okay. Now, nickel and dime. Nickel and dime. What would this idiom mean? Okay, it would mean to negotiate over small amounts. That means you are negotiating for very small money. To negotiate over very small amounts is over small amounts, nickel and dime. So would anybody be able to tell me what is the meaning of elephant in the room? Elephant in the room, which is clearly pointing it's a problem at hand, a big problem. Then the next one that I'm asking you is tip of the iceberg. Okay, I'm again taking a few again, which are very again used commonly in our reading process. 11th one, again 11th one, dogs. Not dogs, it should be dog days. Dog days of the summer. So what would that mean, dog days of the summer? Very hot days. They're days, extremely hot days of the summer. The hottest day of the summer. The hottest. Yes, dog days of the summer. The hottest day of the summer. So the dog days of the summer in India, especially in the north, are over. The dog days of the summer would usually be in the month of June, the hottest day of summer. Have you seen the number of dog days of the summer are increasing because of global warming? Okay, and sometimes if you've seen the temperatures go 42, 43, or sometimes they might even touch a 48. Now that's a flash in the pan. Flash in a pan is an occurrence which is not very frequent, but one-time occurrence. Sometimes the market might touch a 70,000 mark, which is going to be a flash in the pan. Flash in a pan. No, it is one-time occurrence and not permanent. Not permanent. It's a one-time occurrence. Okay. So now I'm taking next few. Wet behind ears. Wet behind ears. So what is wet behind ears? Somebody who is absolutely inexperienced. He is wet behind ears, inexperienced. Somebody who's raw, who's not very experienced, is wet behind ears. So if you can see somebody who enters politics without much of, having an exposure to politics might be wet behind ears. But somebody who is totally experienced, he becomes a veteran. So, and a new entrant might be a wet behind ears. Okay. So there is wet behind ears. So then if he's a new entrant, then how he would really need to walk on eggshells. What is this? Now, eggshells are very, fragile things. To act very sensitively. Now, let's take this example also. Another example we can have. See, when Kejriwal, Chief Minister Kejriwal won the elections in Delhi, first time, then he had no experience of politics. He was wet behind the ears and he had to act very sensitively so that he does not tread the wrong path. Okay. So wet behind the ears is somebody very fresh, and walk on eggshells would mean to act very sensitively, to act very sensitively. See, when there are communal issues, then a lot of politicians will walk on eggshells so that do not upset, or they do not, make any community offended, so that they don't offend any sensitively. You have to handle the matter very sensitively, then you walk on eggshells. Otherwise, when it rains, it pours. That means the problem will aggravate, or it will start coming in groups. Okay. Then the world is your oyster. For you guys, the world is your oyster. 30 is the number, 15 we did first. The world is your oyster. Now, what does this mean? Don't you worry, the world is your oyster. But now here, you have many opportunities now. The world I'm so sorry, I missed the word. I'm writing it here, is your oyster. So which clearly means you have many opportunities. The world's your oyster. So let's take now, the world's your oyster, but you will have to move heaven and earth to get into the top law school. And all of you in your first year are going to be wet behind the ears. In the first year as a lawyer are going to be wet behind the ears. So you would need to tread the path like you are walking on walk on eggshells. Be very sensitive when you're tackling issues. Okay. Then the world is your oyster, and that means there is a huge opportunity lying for all of you. So up for grabs, up for grabs. And now I will give you 5-10 minutes of some story time. That means available, up for grabs. A lot of opportunities available, up for grabs. But you need to walk on eggshells. That means immense opportunities are there, but you need to burn your midnight oil, and you need to move heaven and earth so that you don't have to pull strings to get admission into law schools. Okay. Then going under the knife was clear. Where my aunt is going under the knife, that means she's planning to undertake a surgery. When it rains, it pours, problems tend to come in groups. Now, these are 4 stories that I'm relating to you. My 17th one is from the horse's mouth. Horse's mouth, first of all, the meaning. And why does it say horse's mouth? The reason being, you can come to know the age of the horse from its mouth. So that means you cannot lie about the horse's age. So here, that means to come to know about an information from a direct source. As the horse tells it, if you open the horse's mouth, when you look at the teeth structure, you can make out what is the age of the horse. So that part is related to direct from the source. The horse only told you his age from the source. The meaning is, I got to know from the horse's mouth that the party in power is planning for one party, one election, one nation, one election, from the horse's mouth. Okay, next one was cold shoulder. A cold shoulder. When you give somebody shoulder part of the meat. Now the story behind is, the shoulder part of any meat is very, very good. But when you give your guests a cold shoulder, though you're giving shoulder, yet you're not serving them hot food, you are telling them Basically, you're giving somebody a cold shoulder. You're saying to that person, you're unwelcome. Unwelcome, cold shoulder. You're giving them a kind of feeling that you are not very welcome here, unwelcome. You're not receptive. He gave a cold shoulder to the guest, and from the horse's mouth, it is direct from the source. Okay, direct from the source. Another one. 19th one, that's a great one. Your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. Which will mean what? That means what? That means very few days are left. Now, for example, if it's for human beings, it would practically say that somebody is going to die. So for some technology that's becoming obsolete, we'll say the days are numbered for the 4G technology. That means now suppose a new model is coming, or we are changing the policy, then the days are numbered. Your days are numbered. If it is for a person, that means will die soon. Limited days are available, will die soon. So the plan's days are numbered. Matlab the plan is going to fizzle out. It will die. The plan will die. The scheme days are numbered. That means it will be over soon. It will die soon. Okay. Okay, then. So we've already done flash in the pan, and here I am doing the 20th one again. So these are about a 35 I've taught you. There is no such thing as free lunch. This one is better one. This is again from the newspaper. There is no such thing as free lunch. Which would mean what? That you get nothing for free. There is no such thing as free lunch. That means there is nothing you will get without you. Nothing is given to you without any expectation. That means there is some kind of expectation. You won't get free lunch. That means there is some expectation. So what is the meaning? Nothing is given to you without some expectation. That means there is some set of expectations always, without some expectations. Okay, there is no such thing as free lunch, which clearly says that everything comes with an expectation, everything. So that is where my friend gave me his car, but really told me to get the gas filled. So there is no such thing as free lunch. So he expected that when I return, I fill the total gas tank and give it to him. Okay. Now, wake up and smell. Last 2-3 questions. Wake up and smell the coffee so that we cover the numbers. See, in my first part, I covered 15 from the newspapers, and this is my 21 more. I'll cover and make this list to 25, and we have covered almost 40 of them. Wake up and smell your coffee. Check for yourself how many you could remember after the session. That'll be great. So wake up and smell your coffee would really mean stop deluding yourself. Stop deluding yourself. That means get a reality check. Wake up and smell your coffee. So get a reality check. Stop living in a false paradise. Stop deluding yourself. Meaning is stop delusions, deluding. Take a reality check. I'm relating it to your preparation. All students who are already living in a pipe dream, please wake up and smell your coffee. You'll have to move heaven and earth to get admission into a top school. To get a perfect score is like a flash in a pan. Okay? There are, what did I say? There are these flash in the pan movements also. Flash in the pan movements also. But there is nothing as a free lunch that you will get. But the world is your oyster, and there are a lot of opportunities up for grabs. Up for grabs. Okay. So let's do the 22 one, which is snake oil. I've already explained to you. So I think we can do this swan song, and this can, because then I think the time is getting over. So a swan song is a final appearance. A final appearance is a swan song. You know, after that, the person retires. That's a swan song. A final appearance. Okay. Next one more, and then we are through. The alpha and the omega. The alpha and the omega. And omega. That's the beginning and the end. The beginning and the end. So I have tried teaching you the alpha and omega of RC in our classes. Alpha and omega. The beginning, the alpha is the beginning, and the end. We can do two more, and then we are done. The 24th one, which is to burn candles at both ends. To burn candle. See, now you're burning the candle at both ends. To burn candle at both ends. So which will mean what? It's basically, if you're burning a candle at both ends, you're wasting it, but you're also wasting, and then you're not burn candle at both ends, you're wasting lavishly. To waste lavishly is burn candle at both. If you've seen Vijay Mallya, he burned the candle at both ends, and that's why he was left with no money, and he became bankrupt. Okay, he became a bankrupt because he burned the candle at both ends. And then to the world, he had to cut a sorry figure. To cut a sorry figure. Because he was left bankrupt and he had to flee, that is to make a poor show. To make a poor show. Clear? Now it's clear. So we've covered the alpha and omega of certain topics, the beginning and the end in our classes, but lot of rich people will burn candle at both ends, and Mallya can fit into the bill, but he had to flee the country, and he had to cut a very sorry figure. Cut a sorry figure. That's all for the day. I think we have covered enough number, almost like 45 to 40 of the idioms by numbering. My request to all of you would be, please prepare this. In the next session, we might cover some more so that the list is comprehensively being done. In case you get these in your RCs, you're able to interpret them, but the meaning is going to be quite close to the dictionary meaning. For idioms, the meaning will not change very much in the context also. The idiom is basically used to strengthen the author's position and put, to give absolutely a great panache in writing by using the idiom in the writing process. Thank you, everybody. And that's all for the day.